Start. All right, welcome to week one of Lord of Luxury Constructed League. We're playing Legacy, and we've got two classic lords facing off today. We've got Rob versus Talia. So let's take a look at Rob's deck real quick. Hold on, I've got some walkout music for Rob. Taylor, you won't be able to hear this, but it's the Whopper Whopper Chicken Whopper song. So feel lucky that you can't hear that.
Was already listening to it before you even said that. So
Right. And who do we have? So my name's Cosme, and we've got Taylor. Introduce yourself.
Taylor, Lord of the Luxury since way back, and excited to watch some good Legacy here. Is Henry going to be joining us, or is he just?
I think Henry. We've got Henry in the background and Caleb. And if y'all have any specific quips, don't feel weird for jumping in. All right, so let's take a look at Temur Delver really quick. Truth be told, I don't know a damn thing about Legacy, and this will be like the first time I've played it properly in a while. But is there anything about this Delver list that looks interesting to you?
I will never claim to be a Legacy expert, but didn't realize that the new Phyrexian Rogue from the new set is it's an unblockable 2/1 that you can sort of flashback some spells. That's hot.
Which
I
one is
haven't
that?
seen that before. It's called Mercurial
Mercur-
Spell Dancer.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's a good
nice.
one.
For sure thought that was a Merfolk, but and then it's like a Murktide list too. So there's gonna be some, it's gonna feel a little bit like a DRC expressive iteration Murktide modern deck, right?
That's right. That's right. Oh, and I guess a note is that these are pre-banning lists. So you're going to see Rob playing the now banned, or no? Does this list not have? Oh no, there it is. It's expressive iteration. So we'll see some banned
Yeah,
behavior.
we have some outlaws in this group
Yeah.
playing illegal cards.
What else? We've got 4 wastelands. I don't know if that's standard to the Delver list, but that's nice to see. And we've got some Minskin boos in the sideboard, which I think is pretty interesting.
Yeah, seems like Rob was looking to find a list with that in the 75. So
All right,
that's fascinating to me. I have no clue when that would come in, what the matchup is for it, but
cool. All right, so let's take a look at Talia's list. Talia is on Ad Nauseum Tendrils. I think this is just a pretty classic Black Storm deck. Is there anything? Is there anything that's popping out? Popping out to you?
I am gonna have to learn this as we watch it. It's ad nauseum without abnauseum, though, right? I mean, it's kind of like it's maybe a misleading title. I feel like it's just like a storm
Yeah, I guess
lands
this is a misleading
deck.
title. Yeah, it's really a tendrils deck that is killing. Yeah, it's just killing with tendrils, right? So you're like chaining together your cantrips. You're playing passive flames to buy them back, and yeah, I think there is one interesting card here. This Paradise Lost, which is actually an unset card, a black border unset card. Um, roll two six.
Oh,
Roll
the
two
fuzzy
six-sided
dice.
dice. Yeah. Return any number of cards with total mana value X from your graveyard to your hand, where X is the total of those results. Exile a pair of dice lost. So a little spice. Apparently, a very good card in this archetype. They were just talking about it before we started recording. I'm excited to see how that goes.
That's
Um,
hot. That's gonna be very cool.
yeah. What
Did
else?
not know that card existed. Be honest, I also had your list pulled up for some reason and was accidentally looking at the land stack. This makes more sense now that I look at. So
Yeah.
it's an Infernal Tutor. Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
it just seems like rituals
Seems
and
pretty.
one win con or a couple. Yeah,
Seems pretty
it's
straightforward. Yeah. All right. Well,
exactly. It's gonna be all in Talia's hands and
let me give
figure out the fun lines.
let me give these guys the signal, and then we'll get going.
Love a good dress down too. Love a one of dress down.
Yeah. So
This is just sweet. The more a legacy list doesn't make sense to me, the more it's just like it's fun to watch. It's fun to like. Some of them on paper, like all the Delver lists, you're like, I see how this wins.
oh, and
Three in the air every turn, but yeah.
I'm in the cockatrice player slot. That's my bad. All right, let's try this again. Join as spectator. I was preventing Talia from actually playing the game because I was indeed
Oh,
the player.
Oh, I see what you're
I
saying. You were
was,
taking a literal slot.
yeah, an auspicious start, um, to say the least.
That happens to the pros, though. Sometimes you see, the announcers on the field,
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
the field of play confused.
All right, here we go. So let's see. I think Talia has won the die roll with a 20. So, yeah, here we go. So Talia's starting here with a one lander and a quick mulligan into a no lander. Ooh. Oh, no, that's not true. Oh, sorry, I've missed the mall. Third mall. Now we've got a couple. Now we've got lands and spells. I think this is gonna have to be a keep. It's an interactive hand. It's not really a storm hand, though. I guess if she's got the ponders and the brainstorms to kind of
Yeah, that was the right call.
draw into them. And let's take a look at Rob's hand. Wasteland, lightning bolt, bauble, brainstorm. Yeah, I mean this is just some classic legacy nonsense. So might be a little rough for Talia with two wastelands in Rob's hand and a very few cards, but hopefully they'll be able to ponder their way out of it.
Glad to see Rob keep that one. I could see wanting to pitch something that doesn't have a threat at all, but it's gonna maybe work out better for him if Talia's mulliganing and land light.
Yeah, I mean, I think Talia already, since they had to mull down to what, five, I guess. I like keeping the interactive hand to kind of really punish especially with like two wastelands to really punish that draw. So, but I don't mean. I guess it also. I can't. We'll see if Rob like decides to just go like turn one wasteland. That might be a little.
Yeah,
That
fun
doesn't feel,
use.
doesn't feel like a Rob line, but let's see.
No, it's a pretty Cosme line, honestly. When I was so putting you on playing Painter again and like a prison Karn thing, so I was like, God damn! Of course, if he's not doing that, he's gonna do just like Wasteland shenanigans.
Yeah, I was
But
thinking about playing Painter because I guess I played Painter in I forget if was it Legacy or Vintage that we did the last time.
yeah, I believe that was Legacy, wasn't it?
I,
Our last thing, and
I can't quite
but I think
remember.
Painter sounds like it's still reasonable.
Oh,
Oh,
the
he's gonna go for it.
Wasteland first turn. I like to see it, Rob. I like to see it.
I love your use of interactive, meaning forget the bolts and removal. It's the
Yeah,
land
one card.
removal.
Yeah, one card affects the on one side of the board. A card on the other side of the board. That's interaction. That's
No,
good.
it's I mean it removed the other land right away.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is good. I mean this will be a heartbreaker for Talia because it's the one card you can't Thoughtseize is the wasteland. But yeah, I could see it being a mistake for Rob to try to play a longer game while Talia like draws the storm cards. But
Yeah, and then
I
this
think I
is
would still take his position from here, right? I mean,
yeah for
you
sure.
would still take Rob's seat where we sit, but
Yeah, and this is a particularly kind of rough Thoughtseize for Talia, hoping to probably grab like a Delver or some sort of threat. Instead, they just have to bin.
ooh, a
What?
force of will. That's what you want to see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the rich
It's
get richer. Um,
that was what I was gonna say should be on Rob's Christmas list because you do want something. I don't know quite how explosive this storm deck is, but
no, I mean that's just a
it's
perfect thing to have in the
Yeah.
And now Rob gets to start playing some real cards. With
Ooh, another fetch land. That
yeah,
helps with the brainstorms.
and I wasn't
Gotta
lying about
love
the rich get
seeing that.
richer. I have a creeping suspicion that Rob is indeed the richest lord. He's very well employed. So maybe not the richest, but
Yeah,
both
I don't
literally and
want to.
metaphorically.
Lords, yeah. I mean, a lord with a job is a little bit of a oxymoron.
All right, let's see.
Gonna say there's a reason the New York chapter might have kicked him out. He was too gainfully employed
Yeah, that's
for our
very fair.
tastes.
That's very fair.
All right.
Although
Well, if you're gonna draw hot, seems like a good one.
seems pretty good.
Guess
Um,
he'll have to shuffle away a card here from this cracking this, but not a problem.
yeah, I mean, I guess he's
He,
getting this mercurial spell dancer. I don't even know what this card does. Do you know what this card does?
yeah, having played this draft format, I've definitely seen it in action. Oh yeah, so it's got an oil thing, which is just a proprietary counter. It doesn't really matter. When Rob plays a non-creature spell, he's going to get an oil counter on this 2/1, which is unblockable. And I think it's when it deals damage and you have two counters that you can remove. You'll yeah, just copy the next instant or sorcery you play of any CMC.
Oh,
So
all right. Yeah, that's not bad at all.
pretty pretty big deal. Copy an EI sounds like enough to make you want to throw up, but he will have to cast two. We'll have to cast two non-creature spells, and not likely to be any proliferate in his 60 cards.
Yeah, so I guess Talia just played an Underground Sea in past. Not a ton going on, but I guess they've got a brainstorm here end of turn.
Yeah, I mean, what else can she have wanted? Let's got to start us off. There's some blue source for that brainstorm.
Yeah, the Murktide also. I guess I can't. I don't remember if he drew if Rob drew the Murktide or if this is a iteration situation here.
The iteration situation actually was my ska band in high school. No,
I've always known you had a checkered past.
um, doesn't look like we can see the window of Rob's EI
Yeah,
options,
yeah,
but Delver went to hand, and is that Bolt
yeah. That's
in
what it
the
looks like.
exile? Okay, so he must have whiffed on lands. So at least
Yeah,
not the perfect. Remembers to put the counter. Good. We don't have to remind them.
and did Rob have a bolt in hand previously?
I think he might have shuffled it from the brainstorm,
Oh,
and
okay.
Murktide was the draw from this turn. And yeah, so I think he brainstormed and shuffled away a bolt, and then saw a bolt off the EI. I
Yeah. Okay, so
believe.
here's Talia brainstorming end of turn. Looks like she got another land, which is good.
Nice, nice.
Probably just want to keep that land. And then yeah, I don't know. I guess I mean I don't play Storm, so it's hard for me to like look at a hand and know if they have the ability just to go off. It looks like they've got the pieces right. So they've got the Thoughtseize to get um, the force out of the hand. I think they probably need and they've got the Lion's Eye Diamond for ramp, but I guess they need to be able to cast the past in. They probably need to be able to cast the past in flames um, and a
I think the
cantrip.
punchline for this kind of storm deck in Legacy has got to be the Infernal Tutor, right? Like it's like a demonic tutor when you're hellbent. I think that's got to be what this hand is missing right now.
Yeah.
Get that, crack all your LEDs, have a bunch of mana and a past in flames in the graveyard, then get a tutor.
Right.
Waves hands as though he understands how to play this deck. But I know that's the general start of it. Must be, and It's great. I mean, this is good. I'm very happy to see Talia draw pretty well out of this. Blue source and then a ponder to set up.
Yeah, I mean for Rob's very interactive start, as I was calling it, hasn't really been able to find the pressure to take advantage of it.
It's just yeah, it's just not a fast clock yet. I mean, I guess Murktide's going to be huge and can be cast for 2 mana, so that'll start speeding it up.
Yeah.
Would think it'd be awfully tempting to get that down right now, but don't get too greedy with like the spell dancer, right? Because it's just gonna like copy basically card draw spells, so you got to think about tempo and figure out
Yeah.
right.
I
Like, are you
assume.
better off just being like, here's a big creature, you know,
Right.
I can, I
Yeah.
don't.
My guess is that Rob is going to brainstorm for this land and either play. I mean, I guess the move is to play Dragon Rage Channeler and Delver. No, I guess not.
This is a painful one because he didn't hit an untapped land right now, so
Oh, that's true. That's true.
he can get a Delver on board. So, and I don't even remember. Did he just put a spell on top for the Delver? So it's not it's gonna
Yeah, I don't know
be.
if he did put a spell on top.
I can't even remember now what were the cards we just saw, but
I
yeah,
mean,
I,
he must have. He must have. There's no way. I mean, there's no way that you don't play the Murktide here.
oh, he's going for card draw here. He removed the oil counters and he is going to copy a brainstorm.
Huh.
What? Maybe don't want to play a land then in that case first.
See, I don't know if I like this. Oh, the Wasteland's
Yeah,
pretty
should not
good.
have played that land though. He
Yeah,
already made his land drop.
yeah.
Um,
I was gonna say I don't like giving Talia more turns to kind of draw into because Talia just needs the right kind of combination of cards in hand and some fast mana, and they could just win.
yeah, and especially when you had like okay, so Rob, maybe you could argue whether or not that was too greedy, the brainstorm, but basically he got max punished, no untapped land, and he still had the out of playing the Delver as the keep the pressure on line, and
Yeah,
still didn't take a brainstorm. Not the most insane spell to copy if you do
yeah.
the
The
math,
problem is just
right?
like now you're giving Talia still like at least two more turns to
But
draw.
like you're seeing the same cards too because you're not fetched. I mean, you get what I'm saying too. It's also like if you had copied, made like two preordains, that'd be more
Yeah.
forward progress than what he just saw. But yeah, it hurts to see just a 2-1 in
So
play.
what does this land do, Mystic?
Honestly, if this was Phyrexia Draft, I wouldn't love my board being this small at this stage. Actually, it's what is it? Fucking turn 5 because we've had so many land drops just go straight to the graveyard. So
Yeah, I think I would have liked to see. Yeah, I don't know. And the Wasteland too. The Wasteland would still be really good here. But
I
no, I
could be
guess.
wrong. Like let's think about it the other way. Maybe he's just looking for a force of will because what happened? Talia thought sees the other force. Maybe he was just like, forget pressure. I'm gonna brainstorm into a force of will.
Well, maybe. What do we know? What he put on top of his library with Mystic Sanctuary? Maybe it was the Force.
Does this even trigger? I don't know if it does.
Oh, when it
Yeah, it has
enters
to.
when it enters untapped. So he
Yeah, so
really
if you,
just played it as a tap land. I don't like that at all.
I think he was just kind of yeah. I think he was just tiny bit sloppy because there was no advantage to playing that land drop
Yeah, see, because
before
even
you
even a
see your cards
huge
anyways.
even a huge Murktide here, like Talia still has two turns before she dies. So
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
I'm probably wrong. Like I wouldn't be confident in any of my legacy instincts right here.
No,
But
yeah, yeah. Of course, here I am being very critical of a
no, I'm
format that I
just
know
saying. It's
nothing about.
no, just like can't be too strong of an opinion from us. But
I like the Wasteland
um,
here. I guess if Rob goes for a Murktide here, Talia is Talia dead next turn? I guess especially Murktide and a Dragon Rage Channeler probably. with
Yeah. So what is Murktide?
Murktide's gonna be big. Um,
Is it gonna be 7 though? Oh, it is. Okay.
8. Yeah. Okay. So that's totally enough to kill. I assume we're seeing Dragon Rage Channeler here. Yep. So okay. Well, I
Wow,
don't.
talk about a non-bow. You just took all of your different card types away for the poor DRC. Oh.
So there's tendrils. I mean, yeah. I think
Oh, oh no.
Talia really needs to. Oh, that is. Yeah. You're. Well, no, but Past in Flames will get it back. Um,
Yeah, I is this just like was that just enough? I mean, what's
I
the
mean,
storm count looking like?
well, so they're gonna have to go
Let's
Cabal
pull this
Ritual,
graveyard card
right?
up.
They'll have to go Cabal Ritual
This
to
has
get some
got to be
extra mana.
enough. Oh yeah, so I guess you have to be able to do the
So,
5 mana
so
for Past in Flames and then a ritual.
yeah.
So go 6 red, 1 left over, Cabal Ritual,
So yeah, Talia needs to be able to cast
then
Tendrils with
play. But
Storm count 9.
oh yeah, it's also not what's the other one from Vintage Cube where Talia would have been able to play the LEDs. Like it's not Yogwill,
Right.
which would let you recast artifacts, but
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. Cabal Ritual with Threshold, so that's a big deal. Um,
oh, forgot about that.
so five black
That's
mana.
this is good. This is a lot. Boy, that was a rip.
I mean, okay, they'll be able to go crack Lionside Diamond. Um, oh, are they just going? Oh, that this is great. So they're gonna cast Tendrils, and then they're gonna pass in Flames, and I think they'll be able to cast Tendrils again. So they might. That's very smart.
Okay, so they played. Okay, so that's 5 black, 1 black floating tendrils.
Yeah.
Crack, crack. Yeah, that's a ton. Yeah, that's got to be more than enough. Oof. Talia
Yeah.
being very helpful with the storm count here at 4, but more than enough. For sure. Can even Thoughtseize,
Well, yeah.
probably.
I think they play Cabal Ritual again.
I mean, it's a nice spot if you're Talia too, because you don't have the luxury of saying, "Should I wait a turn or should I?"
No, no.
You know,
Yeah.
you're
You
dead on
just.
board, so you don't have to. If Rob just has the
Yeah.
force of will, you don't even
Dang.
feel bad.
Dang. 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 So
That was cool.
what a good game.
That was sick.
What a great first game. So okay, let's take a look at sideboards.
Very sick. Very sick.
So for Talia, I don't know. Maybe a snuff out. Like I think all Talia cares about is killing creatures. Um, maybe Veil of Summer. What does Veil of Summer do? Let's see. Oh, spells you control can't be countered this turn. Okay, so maybe Talia's bringing in a couple Veil of Summers and probably the Snuff Out. Otherwise, I don't know if there's anything else in here that I care too much about. What do you think?
Um, I think yeah. I mean, I think you definitely want help getting through all the counter spells, and I think Uro is supposed to be a uh, good card against Delver. So it interacts well with their removal and keeps gaining you life. Because really, the Delver's just going to beat you with 3 power creatures, right? So if you can gain some life, so I think Uro's supposed to come in here.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't imagine this is a deed matchup. So
Yeah. So let's take a look at Rob. Pyroblast, not great. I think probably these Force of Negations. I would
without a
imagine.
doubt, yeah, it's a spell-based combo deck. You get those are easy. And then how does counterbalance?
Oh, probably Grafdigger's Cage comes in as well.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Good call. That stops flashback, right?
Yeah, whenever a opponent plays a spell, you may reveal the top card of your library. If you do counter the spell, if it has. Yeah, I don't. Counterbalance is a tricky one. I don't know.
It's
Oh,
got to be like matchups where your CMCs line up.
and I and
So
I
this deck is all about ones and twos. I don't.
yeah. Anyway, we've missed the start of the game. Going
Oh
deep
no.
into the sideboards. They clearly had the plans ready to go. Um,
Good
Rob's
catch. Yeah.
Rob started on a Delver of Secrets and dazed the Lotus Petal. Turn one from Talia. Uh, Talia keeping a hand with no lands, just two Lotus Petals.
Yeah, but it looks like it was a good one.
Yeah, they've got they've got
Otherwise, it was good.
another Lotus Petal ready to go.
So now it seems like yeah, she just wants to brainstorm, fix the hand a little.
Yeah, I
Rob
mean,
can't double days.
well, there's the land. So
Okay, she got some lands. A fetch to
so can
shuffle stuff
she
away.
can she go land and then continue on her merry way? Dark ritual, tutor, ponder. Like I don't, again,
I. So what does tutor do if you're not hellbent? Reveal
reveal a
a card from
card.
your hand.
Search your library with a card with the same name.
So you can double as like another.
Yeah. So
I don't.
maybe it's not worth trying to go off here like one more turn, and I'm sure
Well,
Talia.
wait. I guess we have to think about. So lotus petals are spells. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven.
Yes, I mean Storm
What
count 5 right now.
would that be? As tendrils for.
You need tendrils for 10. Storm count 10 for the turn one kill.
I guess.
I mean Talia's getting there. Storm count 6.
Yeah, she's going for it. I have to imagine that she sees the line.
I
She has a
mean,
one black mana left.
tendrils for 6 is pretty good. Rob's at 6. Talia's at 34.
Yeah, I have to imagine now the punchline, right? You must be able to like tutor, get a flashback thing, and do the rest of the life
Yeah, I think that's right.
in a couple turns. Maybe a
Well,
couple
right. So
turns here.
so I guess Tutor Win Hellbent means you can get any card, right? And so it doesn't have to be a
Yeah,
card
so
that
it's
you.
gonna just turn into a D tutor,
Yeah.
but then
So
you still have to have mana.
right.
So you have to. Yeah, I don't quite. I'm glad to see that I wasn't crazy because I was like, I can't quite see 20 damage out of this, but
No, I
also
think
seems like
Talia. I
this is
think Talia.
probably a good plan.
Yeah, I think Talia. She was thinking like, let me put myself pretty far ahead. Um,
Yeah, you bought yourself a lot of turns.
a lot of turns. I mean, that being said, Rob's got two Delvers on the board. A Mercurial in hand, a Daze for when that's good. So Rob's not out of it, um, but I guess it
No,
depends.
Rob's set up.
Yeah.
Um,
He hasn't been
yeah,
able
what a
to set up the top
fascinating.
of his library, so this is just going to be a
It's gonna ask you.
yeah. There, I mean, he's all he's done is cast a Daze, so
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess now that I look at the graveyard.
and yeah, if they don't flip into a Murktide. No
Yeah.
land either. That's tough. That is tough. Yeah, attacking in for 2. I'm not gonna. I don't think that. I don't think that clock's gonna get there.
Yeah, but it's still not the worst position. You have a very soft counter, and you have iteration to reload. I mean, once he hits if he just
Yeah, but
I
here,
guess you
yeah,
you can't draw both a red land and a spell to flip Delver, so I guess it won't be too explosive. But yeah, a ritual's got to be extremely high on the list. of
Yeah, I
that just
mean,
had to be a really helpful top deck, right? So it goes by threshold, which she has. So now she has big mana and then a D tutor.
an eye tutor.
I mean, I'm saying
Oh,
when
D
it
tutor. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
when the
That's right.
I tutor is, yeah.
When the eye tutor becomes a D tutor, that's right. Um, yeah, I mean, I think she's
That's,
pretty close, right? Because what do you tutor for? Do you tutor for
I
passive?
hope no Storm
No.
Legacy Storm aficionados are watching. I think us trying to
Yeah.
bumble our way through the thought process
Isn't
would be
it
pretty maddening.
just you use the ritual, you get your tendrils, and then because she only has to have Storm 3,
Well, Tendrils is in the
It's
right?
enough, right?
graveyard. Tendrils is in the graveyard, so
No, she only has one copy.
yeah, I'm pretty sure. So unless there's another kind of storm kill card that I missed, I'm pretty sure the Tendrils is the only win con.
It is a one of, yeah. So that is part of
Okay, I
the.
missed that. All right.
No, no, no. It's any help with us understanding this is appreciated.
I guess I really
But
could just
it's
have the deck list open in this on my other window
She
over
might
here.
then
I
just need to.
have them if you want me to.
No, no, no.
She might just need a Past in Flames or a dice. Roll the dice, paradise to
But
like
you would need
really.
red mana for the past, which she
I
wouldn't
mean,
have currently.
she can get a. Yeah, I mean it's tough, right? But like I guess she's hedging that she bought enough time with the initial tendrils. Like she's still at 29.
That's my guess.
So.
Yeah, we liked the play. We're just trying to figure out, like for instance,
Oh no,
this
yeah.
still leaves her red manaless.
Well, maybe this fetch can get her a land that can produce red. There's got to be what does she play? She's playing Volcanic Island.
I feel like how many paradises does she play?
She has red. It's just if you pay 2 for the ritual, and then for the other ritual, it's all just coming out black the other
Yeah, that's
end.
true. That's true.
She needs
Copy.
post ritual to have red. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
Mm.
yeah, I'm sure she has. Yeah, it is actually just volcanic. No
So it's one
Badlands or
Past in
anything.
Flames and one Paradise. Okay.
Bayou. What?
Yeah, she's going for the Paradise.
Pair of
I bet
dice.
she's.
Well, still,
Yeah,
pair of
she's
dice
hedging.
is two green.
You know, some of us have
Ew.
to read this card.
I didn't know that. So it has huge upside, right? Upside is you get 20 cards back. That's maximum, but like minimum is, or sorry, no, 12. My bad. Two sixes, max is at 12. I thought it was D20,
Well, so
but minimum
Wow,
2.
yeah, so
it's a fun card.
there's the red source. I wonder if looking at her sideboard now, I wonder if Pernicious Deed is the card that she's angling towards, because that would be pretty
It would
good.
be good here. Yeah, just clean
I don't
sweep,
think she
Robert.
needs. I don't think she needs to do anything defensively. I would just try to win if I was her. I mean, Rob's not.
You-
Rob can flip these 2, and she would still have a couple turns, right?
Well, look at this. She got the red source, right? Oh, what happened to the red source?
I think
Is
she's
this
gonna
on top of the
hide it
deck?
on hide it
Brainstormed
on her
away.
top deck,
Smart.
probably.
I guess
Yeah,
Rob
like
is
I think
playing.
she can just win next turn, right? I think she's guaranteed the.
I think so. Now that she played the land drop, she gets the next land drop. Infernal Tutors.
If they
Well,
resolve too.
she has to get rid of. Well, I guess she'll play this Abrupt Decay, right? She'll get that out of the hand right away.
Yeah, so she looks like
So
she's gonna play the Abrupt Decay. End of turn. Draw the land, play the land, Cabal Ritual, and then Tutor is unlocked. So yeah,
yeah,
I would probably. I mean,
Tutor for Constant Flames costs what, 4, right?
yeah.
Or is it 5? Constant Flames for 4, and then yeah,
I
because
get,
Cabal makes 7. Correct me. How much does it make?
it'll make 5.
5. So that's not quite enough, though. Still, isn't it? Right?
No, no, not quite.
2. Well, she'll have access to 7, right? Because she'll have the 2.
She'll have enough. What are you guys saying?
Yeah,
Well,
she'll.
so okay, so like
Well,
next.
no, not with the tutor included. Actually, yeah, you got to count the tutor too.
So right, so next turn she'll have 4 lands. So 2 for Cabal, that'll put her to 7 total, and then 2 for tutor,
5 back to 5,
back to 5.
and
Passing flames cost 5.
that costs 4. But either way, that's
4.
Or from
not
him.
passing flames plus, you know,
Oh, I guess you're saying.
tendrils.
Yeah, but
But
then-
there's dark rituals in the graveyard too, so she could go
Oh,
dark
never mind. Yeah, then
ritual,
that's fine.
tendrils. So I guess that's
Yeah,
that's
that's
it,
it.
right?
Okay, I missed that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
if
it
she
then.
has 1 black left over, then she'll have enough.
Who knew Dark Ritual was a
Oh,
good card? Oh,
yeah, but the real game was over here with
Ooh.
Rob and EI because Rob had to see a Force of Will,
Ooh, plus days.
and he had it. So he's
Well,
got
yeah, pretty
Force of
good.
Will, blue card, and separately a Daze. That's pretty good.
so I wonder if you daze this abrupt decay now.
I don't
Can't
think
be
that can be
countered.
countered. I think it's a can't be countered
Oh,
spell.
yeah, jeez.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't do it anyways either. I
Which
think
actually
you got to
is
win
kind of
these counter
cool,
wars
isn't
on the.
You know, I always forget that if you read the card, it explains the card. So yeah, it's a
It
good.
can't be
Yeah,
countered is actually kind
sometimes.
of. Oh wait, she drew another ritual.
Well, she must have known
Oh.
this. She must have known that.
Oh wow!
Yeah, but what happened to the red source is my question, right?
Yeah, she
just
put the
decided not
ritual
to pay.
over it. Did she need it?
I don't know if she did.
can't-
I mean, I trust
Yeah,
Talia to
again,
know what she needs. I guess she's making some calculations that we're not seeing here. But
Yeah,
either
could
way,
be that this helps her play around days or something else, or
I mean, to be fair,
Doesn't
Talia
help
is
run
is
force,
not
though.
really under any pressure with a higher life total than the one that she started with. So Talia is still in a really
I
good
mean,
spot.
Murktide's gonna come down too, though, and make it. Oh, and these Delvers flip finally.
yeah, it all came down to that Force of Will. I think that might be enough if Rob picks the spot here.
It's the key card of the game for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Talia will need to find what a thought sees to get that out of the hand.
She's not
Yeah.
finding anything but that red source. I think we know what's on the top of her
Right.
library, don't we?
Which means she's
So-
I mean, she's not.
She's probably gonna go for it next turn. Then I'd have to assume.
Yeah, I think she's in for a penny and for a pound here. But yeah,
I
this is a
wonder if
sweet.
she holds. I wonder if she holds one more turn, and you know what? Maybe what if she holds? No, but I guess the Infernal Tutor then doesn't work the way you want it to.
No.
Yeah,
The
you
interesting
can't
thing
draw
is,
an
Well,
expensive
Rob
spell
has-
that lets you not be held back.
what does Rob counter? The tutor or the pass? I guess it's the tutor. Probably just.
That's what I was gonna say though, Henry. I think
It's a little
I feel
tricky
like
still.
Legacy Storm, or these,
Yeah.
these powerful formats in Storm. I feel like it's difficult to pick your counterspell
I think-
spots. So I think there's gonna be a lot of this. This might not be
I-
as simple as we think.
True, but I do think with Infernal Tutor in particular, it is pretty clear cut, right? Talia's gonna have all the mana. She's gonna be hellbent. So you get my one spell I need. Rob's gonna say no. I think that's pretty clear.
I guess you're right. Yeah, maybe that'll just be.
That one's a pretty clear tutor as opposed to like true demonic.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah, it's different when they're like turn one, dark ritual. You let that resolve, and then they thought seize you. I guess that's the one I've heard before.
Vampiric and demonic are not in Legacy ? Right? They're vintage only, or is that am I making that up?
I have to imagine
If she's playing
demonic tutor
demonic,
is not around. Yeah, basically
Right,
I'm
yeah.
learning the ban list from what Talia's not playing. I'm like, okay, the Yogg-Will would be insane here. She would have won
Yeah.
already, so that's banned. Yeah, IBT tutor's definitely banned.
it's interesting as someone who mostly plays like cubes in terms of like playing with some of these
Yeah.
powerful cards to see them and be like, oh yeah, like where does that one? What's the boundary of brokenness? Yeah,
So now,
Yeah, that's what's funny about these cards is they're all just like neutered versions of other like tutor. Like this tutor is trying to be one of I'm going to fix a power 9 card.
So now with this Murktide, do we and the Force of Will here? Are we saying that Rob is the advantage bar swinging towards Rob?
Yeah, we should have one of
I think
those. We should have
so.
a poker advantage bar.
Do you remember?
I think we're right that it must be Rob just needs to counter this and it's over. Oh, and he's gonna know
Well-
it's the last card in hand, so now there's not.
Is Rob just gonna?
yeah. So he's gonna counter this Force of Will, and then yep,
I wonder if there was
She
any
was-
thought there to keeping Murktide to pitch, right? Was there any thought to that?
Expressive is a nice one here.
I think
I was
yeah, that's
thinking
true. But I was
keep the ponder. What Rob had another blue card in hand.
Yeah, that's right. The ponder. Yeah,
yeah, I
that
think I
felt
would have
maybe a
tried to
little
keep that.
loose. I mean, he's winning here by a mile, and Talia doesn't have
I
a. There's no card here that could get you out of this. I'm assuming it would have to be
I do
like card
you
draw.
want to play the Merc side to like immediately just like speed up the clock, right? Because it's 20 isn't it's still a couple turns, 6 damage a turn. So I think you do want, but I don't know if the ponder that seemed
But it's
like one I
hard.
would
But
have
it's
maybe pitched.
storm decks are not known for going all out. You make them fizzle, and then they beat you again the next turn, and then you know what I'm saying? Like at a certain point,
Yeah,
it's very hard for them
I
to.
don't even know what Talia really. It's like I guess like she would need to either draw naturally, I guess pass in flames, right?
Yeah, the thing
Or
is,
like
like,
and
she
then hit
needs
a
like
land, right?
doesn't she need like Lion's Eye plus pass? Like you need a way to replay your
Yeah, she needs
graveyard,
two.
and you need big mana.
She
So
needs 2 turns to
if
like.
you started with like a
Oof.
basically
Graph.
like a Night
I
Whisper,
I think this is just gonna seal the deal
yeah,
here.
that's lock. That's lock.
I've got also I don't know if what version of Graph Digger's Cage you've got on your screen, but I've got this what is this like Secret Vault one?
Oh God, no.
The art is truly heinous. I'll say.
I think I've
Yeah,
turned off a lot of those. What is it? What does it look like? Now I want to know what the
Um,
look this
yeah,
up
it's
on my phone.
Secret Layer. It's the Secret Layer version. It looks like a horror movie poster basically. Yeah,
Oh yeah, like really all out there.
Talia's still playing here. I really can't think. That ain't it. I
I mean,
mean,
I can give you some insight here. Talia's not a scooper. He just doesn't. He always sees the next card, which is
wow.
testament to her
Well,
playing.
I just want to say you love to see a game three for the first feature match of the constructed the Lord of Luxury constructed league. You love to see it.
Hey, two hometown New Yorkers going hard in the paint in Legacy. We're playing Force of Wills. We're playing unfair decks.
Yeah, I mean
That was sweet. And it
Rob.
seemed like Rob, it was kind of a flip, right? I mean, I think we both thought Rob had it locked the first game
Yeah, I
and he
mean,
loses. And then this one seemed like,
yeah. I guess the real question to ask Talia next. Well, I mean, we'll see how it goes, but the real question is like, do you wait a turn or two to set up, knowing that Rob is not going to kill you turn one? Um, do you wait a
you're
turn
saying
where
rewind it to the first turn. Yeah.
yeah,
To Talia's
where
turn.
Talia played
Yeah.
Tendril Storm 6 or 7 and got way ahead on life, but then wasn't able to follow it up. So yeah, I don't know. Again,
Yeah, that struck me as the way the deck's constructed. You just have to be able to find, right. The backbone of it is like LED and Infernal Tutor, which both work really well from that position. If you're
yeah.
just like, okay, spew my whole hand out, my deck is
I do
made to
think
do
I don't know.
that.
I think I would have liked Talia's line a little more if she had a second
All right, they're both keeping.
tendrils in the deck. Having just one
But I
is
think
a
it's
little rough in
about.
that spot.
I
But
think it's
I get it.
about.
I think I would have done that line too. I think it's just like we're gonna get so ahead. How can
Yeah.
we get killed? So
What I'm trying to say, Henry, is I think like the deck is built to do the whole graveyard flashback because you're doing the
mhm.
LED and the tutor plan. Like those work that way. And I think she had like access to like two ponders or something. But yeah, I'm not sure. I would
So
defer to.
Talia has
Tendrils in
another
hand.
opportunity to basically do a very similar thing to game two, which is just
This is
ritual,
crazy.
What is this one?
cabal
Oh, dark ritual.
ritual,
Oh, nice.
uh,
Wow.
maybe
The veil is nice too.
I wonder if she just like just play it, or how much mana is she gonna have to work with? So 6 mana.
I mean
Hmm.
again like Is she just
I
gonna
wonder.
tendrils turn one for a big amount and pass? Like what? You can't. What do you mean? If
You
you tutor,
know,
you're getting another Veil of Summer. That doesn't seem.
Yeah, so she can't go tendrils, then infernal.
yeah,
She
she.
can, but then she can't get a mana plus graveyard
Like,
flashback.
I mean,
do you play
Infernal.
the Veil just to draw a card here?
I don't think it cantrips here, but it is like a
Does it not? No, it's only. What is just
opponent.
baseline?
I
Yeah,
mean,
okay.
maybe you play the Veil just to get it out of your hand. Maybe that's what Tali is looking
But
at.
I
I
think you
don't think
need to
that.
keep the veil
You play it
because
for
on the
Yeah,
spell,
turn that
yeah.
you're going off, this is the card that's really going to get you there.
But she doesn't
Um,
have lethal, does she?
No,
Not yet.
So
not
it's
yet.
almost like keep Veil for the second go round because I don't
With
think this
this
is enough.
tutor,
Well, the
she
tutor
can
can
only
only is
get
gonna
one of the
get
cards,
another Veil, right?
which is not great considering
I
she
almost
doesn't
don't
have
want to
enough
have two
green.
Veils. Yeah, I wouldn't take a
I
Veil.
agree.
Did she like not do anything with the card?
No, no, she revealed
She-
Veil, so she's getting another Veil.
Okay, copy. Oh, that's what that was. See, but now I don't know. To
You could
me,
also just name tendrils and then like fail to find.
if I was playing this deck, I would really want another Tendrils just in the main deck, right? Just like some of these interactions, especially Infernal Tutor. Yeah, if you have a Tendrils, get another Tendrils. Like, it just seems.
I mean, in this situation,
Yeah.
a second tendrils wouldn't win her the game here.
No, but
But
then next
yeah.
turn you have it. You have access to it when you need it going forward, and like it's only a couple. Like Rob said, 8, right? So a couple spells and a Tendrils that does it.
Rob,
This is
Rob's Druid Delver.
Right about now, Rob wishes he was playing Vintage at a strip mine, not these wastelands too. I don't know what the chances are that Talia drew her like one base. How many basics are we? 2 basics in this list. It's gotta hurt Rob.
See, again, I am a little dubious of this play from Talia because Talia's not just top decking. I mean, Veil is a great way to push through the last bit of damage, but
Surprised to not cantrip it there. I could see just like cycling it there. It's just so hard when you don't have green.
Does it not
I don't know what
cantrip though if it's not there's no like spell though?
if an opponent has cast a spell, yeah.
So it
blue or black
doesn't cantrip otherwise.
She could have just run it out at the end of the turn, lose her Lotus Petal, but replace the card. And almost doesn't seem like Veil is helping.
I guess
Do
Talia.
you think?
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I do think the pedal is pretty important though, right? Because like anything she's gonna do now is gonna be fairly mana intensive. So
Yeah,
any
I
way
guess.
to get tendrils back is like it's a.
But if you're one card deeper in your land or in your deck, you might be more likely to land. It's gonna be a terrifying spot to be Rob. You're just like living in fear of like, okay, so he has a force will. Did he have that already, or did he?
No, the force
No,
I think is coming off
the express.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I thought I was like, am I crazy? I didn't see it before. So that's all he wanted. He just wants to see a force there, and
I do kind of wish.
I don't think Rob can win. I think Talia's play, right? So she's at 32. I don't think Rob can clock Talia enough by the time she can like drop to 7 with a like basically a starting hand with 2 Veil of Summer in it. So I think that Talia's in a fantastic spot.
I mean, we thought so last game too, though.
she needs a lot. I mean, she needs a true source.
I think that she has the turns.
I do think the veils are huge, right? Like that's.
What do you do? No, I don't like that at all. Well, I guess maybe he knows that.
Oh yeah,
because he's got wasteland backup.
It's the extra point of damage.
Oh no, is Talia gonna? Is Talia gonna get a basic island? There's only one basic left in the deck. Is she? She sees it. She sees it. She thinks, "Why did Rob do this?" He kind of tipped his hand. Wow, he wanted to play the second and third wasteland, but holy shit.
I mean, okay. Credit to Rob filling that graveyard though for Murktide. There is a little upside there. minimal, but
I don't think it was crazy. And Talia was in the exact spot where she would want to get a dual land because she desperately wants green sources. But
for sure, that was a heads up play from Talia for sure.
yeah,
We love the Seiju, right? That's
that
what that
was a
is.
real
Yeah.
hot one.
I don't think it's that great against Rob, but it is a green source.
Yeah, no, definitely playing it for the
And it
land.
is a wasteland target.
It is a wasteland target. You are correct. But Rob needs a clock. This is what Rob needs. I think Caleb's got a point.
I think he's gonna get there. I mean, Talia she still just needs to draw a lot. I think she drew about the best possible, like blue source into green source.
He needs a
Just gonna
tutor
lose green source.
or Past in Flames or the roll of the dice and another green source. Actually, no, she doesn't need another green source. She would just need. I mean, she's going to need another source after this gets wastelanded, but
It's hard calculus to do, right? Because I don't think any of us are used to playing with cards like Infernal Tutor. Like, it's very difficult to be like, okay, I need to get myself to this combo spot and then be hellbent, right?
yeah.
So she can't get stuck with 2 Veils in hand on that last turn and be like, oh, wait, I should have played these. I think that's why I wanted to cycle the first one away so much.
I think
That's fair.
the out has to be some combination of Lion's Eye Diamond and Past in Flames. And I think Talia has like 3-4 draws maybe.
Yeah, those are definitely the 2 cards.
Yeah, and Tully definitely has at least.
And you know what
Gotta
would be
say-
nice in a situation like this? A Ponder. Top decking any of the cantrips that are in her deck would be awesome.
Yeah,
But,
not
Polluted
not a
Delta?
polluted delta that is
Another land
just
doesn't
going
really
to.
do it.
Well, especially another land that almost certainly is going to get wastelanded, right? I don't think
Well, I mean, once
unless
she goes for the Bayou or the Volcanic. The Volcanic will be rough, though, because, well, she still has that Lotus Petal. This is, once again, that Lotus Petal being really useful.
Oh, and here the Delvers are flipping.
So, prior turn, Rob did use Sanctuary, put Iteration on top.
Okay, that's what I missed.
So, set him
hot.
up.
Rack 'em up, rack 'em up.
I would say he needs to get to another blue card for this force. Would be nice, because you want to be able to play Murktide from hand.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, you assume that he's drawing the iteration, right?
He's doing it very
Yeah.
slowly. I don't know why it's just...
So, I mean, he's gonna play iteration, and I guess will he get to copy it with Spell Dancer if he wants to?
No. He needs
Then there's a couple more counters on that.
it's got to see a non-creature and then copies the next thing.
Well, right. So he's gonna get the counter from this now.
Yeah, but if he impulses into another card draw spell, he could copy that.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Again, a card. I've only played the new set just the one time for the opening night or whatever. I haven't actually played it since.
Andrea Mengucci is really high on this Spell Dancer, playing it in Legacy specifically.
It's a
Yeah.
fascinating card. I guess it's
I mean, it's unblockable. I think it's. I'm putting in my cube. I think it has a nice spot between unblockability for ninjas and stuff, and for spells matters. I think it just has a lot of upside.
Yeah, it's very
it's,
sweet
efficient.
very sweet in cubes.
So Misty, I don't know. I kind of like
I
running
don't
out
think
of
about-
I kind of like running out of wasteland here. Getting rid of that Beseiju, but I mean, Rob.
Yeah, so Rob's gonna get to a point where he can just know that he's
Rob
got
double
lethal the next turn.
brainstorms here also,
Double
right?
brainstorm
That's
is
another thing.
pretty good.
Right, that's. Is that a? What is that? Counterbalance. Okay.
I don't want to be too critical, but I think we're in the position where, well, it's different. Double brainstorm, but he can crack a fetch in between, so that is a different. Last time it was kind of like double brainstorm, but he was brainstorm locked, so it was kind of,
How good is counterbalance in this matchup? I feel like that was maybe a.
we have no clue.
I feel like that's maybe a sideboard. Get that
It
shit
is
out
a
of there.
sideboard card, but it's one that he brought in. So,
Oh, really? Oh, interesting.
100%, yeah. I think, yeah. What decks you used to play at main deck was like Miracles.
Yeah, there was a counterbalance miracles deck that my buddy used to pilot with top. Apparently, miracles has come back in a way with the new Warhammer card. There's a Warhammer card that's doing it. Apparently,
Oh, so top.
it's not top.
Breaks
Top is banned.
skateboard.
Yeah.
Oh, so no, to great. I can't break my skateboard.
So what does Talia need here? Off the rip. Pass in flames?
Yeah, Symptoms, yeah. Or
I mean, it's gotta be
you could
access
go
to
for
that effect, right?
Paradise, yeah, Paradise. But Force of Will counter that, so it's not.
Yeah, so the dice card does the similar Past in Flames thing.
Problem with
yeah.
Past in Flames though is if she does play Past in Flames, Rob counters it. You use the.
Oh, she still didn't want to cycle the Veil.
I almost would here. I think I'm at the point. All right, well
Well,
now.
I think she has one more turn, which is why she didn't do it yet.
Yeah, now she has
yeah.
a land though, which is good. I mean, I think.
Wow, so Rob's
she's
still
gonna
not
want that.
presenting. I don't think that she's going to have 2 green set aside every turn and want to cast them. And, like, I feel like there's scenarios where she won't have that.
Wait, so did she not play the forest? Is there a reason?
That's not correct in my mind. To not play it. Yeah, that's strange.
I mean, getting deeper in your deck also helps you combo off, right?
Double force. Double force is rough.
That's brutal.
Yeah. Don't get greedy, Rob. You can't speed up your clock from here. Just like find a daze or something. Like find a third counter spell. Or counterbalance, I guess, is a counter spell.
So there's the veil to draw a card. Rob's certainly gonna have to read this card because I have to read it every time.
Force of Will.
Whoa!
Whoa!
That popped off way too soon, Robert.
I don't.
Got a little touchy. She cannot storm off on your turn with Yeah, that I don't know about that one.
Did she draw the card off of Veil?
No, because it was countered with Force of Will.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
He could.
They let this guy drive trains? I don't know about this one, but
I mean, he could have at least waited for counterbalance to trigger, right? To see if it would have.
Yeah, it's like he thought counterbalance wasn't going to resolve.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess counterbalance was on the stack. Okay.
But even so, Talia's not
trigger.
countering it.
Yeah. Well, how does counterbalance work? You pitch a card with the same CMC and you counter that?
So you reveal the top, and if it's the same CMC, it gets countered.
So
you just manipulate the top of your deck so that
that's why it was with top.
You get your 2-drop on top.
So you do that with how do you brainstorm here? I guess
Yeah, Brainstorm's the main one, but the deck also plays 4 copies of Dragon's Rage Channeler, which surveils.
True. Okay, fair. Well, it seems it's much better than I thought. Still don't love it.
Remembered all those surveil triggers. I think he missed.
To me, counterbalance looked like a perfect card to pitch to a force when you needed it. And at this point, if I was in Robert's seat, I think I might have just held up 5 mana and play expressive iterations to keep the card draw flowing. But it's hard to hold up a force until it's cheap enough just to jam a Murktide if you need it. But I don't know.
I mean, to be fair, Rob's still in a very good spot.
Counterbalance could do work if Talia goes Veil and then he reveals 1-drop. I'm not saying it's the right line, but it's going to be something.
I think it can do work. It's just a lot more setup and stuff. I just think it's
I mean, I think.
Well, what else would
a clean answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end
Well,
of the
you're just saying don't force the 1 mana green cycler. I think we're all on that page, but
You don't force if there's Talia's doing almost anything on your turn. I think is the bigger thing, right? Like she needs to storm off on her turn to win. So
so okay,
there's no point.
so maybe
yeah,
if she,
there's really nothing Rob should have been scared of there. I don't know what he was.
I mean, maybe the thinking
Yeah.
here is that like essentially
Stop her from
Talia.
drawing into it.
Well, you know, if she gets to Veil there, she draws an extra card, and then next turn she like if she has it, she leads with Veil, and like if you don't
What's
force
his
if
days
you
being revealed to?
I guess yeah, she would lead with Veil and stop
Yeah.
your.
and well
But
then you
like,
then
it
you'd have
doesn't
to
really
force
matter.
then you'd have to force the Veil, and if you don't have another counter spell in hand, but he
That's
had
I mean
two.
that's
But
what's
he
gonna
had
happen
two.
if he that's what's
Uh,
gonna happen though if she does she gets a chance to go for it. She will use the.
Yeah, you know what? I'm back on it as a bad play because you just let that Veil resolve, and you go, okay, I know she has another Veil in hand, and then you just go force that first Veil, and then like if she continues to go off, you force whatever the important.
Exactly.
Yeah, but we'll
Now
see. Let's see.
passing flames off the top is a
It
win.
may not matter though, right?
Yeah, it seemed unlikely to matter.
Talia's draws were absolutely absurdly bad. So
Yeah.
bad. Land after land.
They were good the other games. They were pretty insane the other games, but
I kind of wish there was another tendrils in the sideboard to put into the main board.
okay,
I
but
don't know
show
if that
us
necessarily would've-
where. I mean, yeah, I guess
Sure.
at that point
I
when
guess
she
that's. I mean, at this point in the game, you
she
double
top decked
veil
3-4
the
lands in a row.
tendrils. If you got this other, like, I don't know, it's rough. It's rough. Sure.
I really hope Talia listens to this back in preparation for absolutely beating my ass down in our eventual match.
Yeah, we offered a lot of expertise here. I mean, that's a classic thing, though, right, Henry? I feel like people say you're not supposed to. You play as few win cons as possible because, like,
Oh, I'm sure the list is very tight and is built to like function like a machine to do exactly what it needs to. I don't know.
I think the main thing
I
is that
like
you
having
just,
multiple outs.
yeah. Multiple outs is
I think
nice, but that's
yeah.
where the tutors come into play because you don't want to open a hand that has like 2 tendrils in it.
Oh,
'Cause
exactly, it has
that's an
tutors.
absolutely
That's true.
untutorable hand.
I guess that's true.
So what?
You know what the real question is for this matchup is like Rob didn't have fairy macabres or whatever they're called. Like he didn't have surgical extractions. So Talia knew, I guess just one Grafdigger's Cage. But like in other matchups, I wouldn't like Talia's line of go for it and I'll flash it back later because lots of people are playing. Like, oh, I'll surgical extraction that. Like, so
I
then she
agree.
would officially have 0 win cons. But giving Talia the credit, it was open deck list. I'm sure she saw. Oh, okay. If I just put it in the graveyard, it's safe there. Save one
Where did that
Grafdigger's Cage.
Where did that duress come from? I'm saying Talia just played a Cabal Ritual, and then a duress appeared in the graveyard out of nowhere. I don't really know how that happened. I mean, I don't know. I guess Talia's just dead. I assume there's not really anything.
You can play it from the spellbook, actually, Cosme. You didn't hear about that one? You can.
Oh my god! Please tell me this.
No, there's nothing
Oh,
like
you
that.
can draft a duress from the Tendrils of Agony spellbook.
Yeah, that's actually how you can get an extra tendrils in the deck. Is with
Oh, great.
Well, now cards are just getting revealed off the library, so my guess is that this game is over.
I would assume so.
It's 100% over, but it's not going to stop them. They're probably just talking.
Well, for the sake of this, recording, does somebody want to pop in there and invite them over to, if it is indeed over?
Sure, I can.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Bridge the gap.
That was a great matchup. I liked that a lot.
Yeah, both incredibly close matches. I mean, what more could you want? Not both, all three really.
Yeah. Yeah, to see like Storm player be like, okay, I'm gonna go off and come back for the leftovers later. Gave an interesting texture to these games.
Yeah, and especially I think game one where Talia was a turn away from dying, and then just I guess that's how Storm goes. Um, but oh, and here they are.
Yeah. Hello.
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 Yeah.
Incredible games for our first feature match. Thank you guys.
Honestly, yeah, those games were good.
Thank you
I
guys.
enjoyed them. I mean, I feel like I'm really playing Magic when I have Delver triggers on the stack, and I'm like, I have a fetch land. This is almost a scry. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that's Magic in a nutshell, right? Yeah. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, I
I'm
think we were
sorry,
just
you were
going
breaking
through
up
the
there for a
value of counterbalance in the matchup. We just finished talking about Grafdigger's Cage and how it's like pretty solid here.
Yeah.
Oh, Grafdigger's Cage looked very good. I will.
Yeah, the game where it came down, it was pretty important.
Yeah, Cage is definitely strong. Like you sided in the Hada. Like I think the stuff you sided in was just correct.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty basic sideboard situation. I assume commentators were able to assess this, but it was like 4 lightning bolts out, 2 counterbalance in, 2 force of negation in, and then I'm trying to remember what I swapped out for. Oh yeah, I swapped out one of the spell dancers for
Yeah.
the Grafdigger's Cage.
Yeah.
The yeah.
I think game 2 going for the Storm for 14 was correct. I think game 3 I should have waited another turn, but it was awkward keeping the no lander and then just holding
Yeah.
on it.
I will say game 3, and I'm interested what the folks who were on the watching side of this felt and saw. I feel like all of my hands were not like classic pressure into like mana denial, which is to me still where Delver exists. I don't know if that's its current primary strategy, but none of my hands had like immediate pressure into something that makes it hard to win the game for the opponent. And so the third hand, if I remember correctly, had like 2 wastelands in it, and I ended up seeing a third pretty quickly. And I mean, we can still see the board here. Like it was. I felt like it was probably pretty obvious when I targeted your fetch land with it, but I wanted you to choose sort of awkward colors if possible if you were going to fetch basics, and I wanted you to like if you were going to fetch a duel, I had follow up, and I also had the Murktide in hand, so I was like, it's not even that bad for me to just be filling up my graveyard a little bit frivolously.
That's fair. That said, with the pedal out, I have access to any color.
I know. That was. I ended up shuffling them all away or something. Like I don't know if I ended up playing anything after the first one. I think I like discarded one, or like they didn't really do their thing, obviously.
So Rob, I mean, this is there's a lot of interesting decision points, but I think maybe the most fresh one in our mind was that force on Vale, game 3. What especially when you knew that she had 2 Veils in hand. I'm very curious what your thought process was there.
Yeah, the fans did not like that one.
Yeah, I was a little surprised not to see the second Veil, but here's the reality of it. I have the force, right? Like I didn't have a brainstorm in hand, and I had actually seen a lot of like the top of my library and stuff. I'm not saying it was the right decision, but what I was thinking was basically I can get rid of one Veil now, and if she casts the Veil in response, now there's no Veils, and I feel like that is an advantageous position. And yes, there would be a single, like it's bad card advantage, but I really don't think it didn't feel like a card advantage game to me. Where we were at that point in the game, like 1 extra card, my force is doing literally nothing, and if it's happening on the turn where the win is about to happen, that's so much worse than this sort of like value Veil that happened. I don't know.
I think from our position, it's obviously like so much more stressful to be in the heat of the game, but all it's doing for Talia is just literally like cycling for 1. And if she's casting the 1 from hand, then she's not going to untap with access to 2. So you could still have had 2 Force of Wills for her 1 Veil, unless she top decked a 3rd one. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So your forces weren't blank, I think, but it just seemed like you kind of like
No, I do agree with this.
Yeah, I mean, it was just cycling. I was actually shocked Talia didn't cycle one of them away sooner because they seemed a little bit like a liability, especially if she wanted to get hellbent. But
But
um,
to be fair, Talia, you drew really poorly, and Caleb actually piped
Yeah,
up.
that game.
Caleb actually piped up earlier and was like, because we were like, ooh, I don't know, like Talia going for the early tendrils play again, and then just having to top deck out of it. And Caleb
in
was
game
like,
three,
yeah, in game three, and Caleb was like, no, I mean Talia has like a ton of draws here, and we were like, I guess so.
It's
And
like
then
a
you just really drew
Oh
drew
yeah,
nothing.
I bricked real hard there. Yeah, for most of that game, I'm pretty sure that if I start drawing into cantrips or draw an infernal tutor, I win. Like
Yeah.
honestly, like yeah, I think I just win the game. Yeah, I think that yeah, no, I'm actually very confident in that in those decisions with 2 veils in hand and Rob at like 8 life. I need so few resources to actually end the game. Like it's Cabal like Cabal Ritual plus Lotus Petal plus Infernal Tutor plus like a handful of lands ends the game at that point, and like 2 veils means that I'm not going to get locked out of that by Rob amassing counter magic.
Right.
Uh, I think one
Like
of
if I,
the decisions that I don't know. So Talia, you mulled to 5, game 1 or 2? Was that 2? I'm trying to remember.
one I think was the Mulder
One.
5.
Yeah, and was that the same game where I dazed like a lotus petal on turn 1? That was game 2, I think. I remember like dazing a lotus petal when you had no lands in play, and
that was
not
game three.
that was game 3. No, because I remember having a. I don't think so.
Dazing
Was
the
it?
Lotus Petal.
Yeah,
That
because I had
was
one land in hand. It was a tropical island, a daze, and something, and I think I had like an unflipped delver or something in
yeah,
play.
that's right. That's right. That was game. Oh, I can't remember which game of that was, but it was one or
So
two.
you had to be on the play. So it was one.
It was
Hold
game
on.
2. It was game 2
Yeah,
because Talia
Oh,
was on the
sorry.
Talia won the die roll.
I did lose. I did lose the game against a multi-5, I believe. Right, like that did happen.
Yeah, that was game one for sure. For sure,
Yeah.
Malta 5, and then you had a Wasteland was game one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Game 1, I was really riding those wastelands, and it didn't work out as well as I wanted.
Yeah, I think with game 1, you ran into the problem that comes up against Storm, which is that Storm actually kind of has a lot of inevitability. Like,
Yeah.
It like given enough time, Storm will amass a set of resources that can just win the game through whatever counter magic you have.
Yeah, it's a pretty redundant deck, and I mean because of the tutors and stuff, and then just being able to like flip your graveyard upside down and make it into stuff seemed important to me. Uh, yeah, I'm not. I don't know exactly. I think all of my keeps felt spotty, to be honest. I don't like mulliganing, and I find this is one of my biggest problems as like a Magic player. When I play constructed, I look at every hand and I'm like, "That's good," because like in my mind, it's like essentially an amazing limited hand, which is where I spend so much of my time.
Yeah.
And so like I feel like every one of my hands, I probably could have mulliganed if I knew the matchup better and if I was a little more comfortable mulliganing, right? Like,
Sure.
yeah. I'm trying to think. Yeah, tell you.
I don't think your keeps felt like stand out to us in a bad way. I think they were all like. I think you also like your threats are redundant and you have a bunch of them. Like Murktide is not going to come down early a lot of games, but you still have like what, basically 8 Delvers, and then the 2 Spell Dancers, like and cantrips to find them. You're going to get there.
There was a game where I think I was a little tight on lands, and that I ended up casting EI instead of a small Murktide because I had enough cards in graveyard to delve it out, but it was just going to be like a 3/3 or a 4/4.
Oh yeah, some of those were really interesting.
And I'm not sure that was right. I wanted to. It feels weird to say a sentence like "I wanted to keep hitting land drops in a Delver," like it functions on 2 lands like pretty well. And I probably should have just played the Murktide and kept the pressure going. I think that was the game I lost, actually.
Yeah, pressure is really important in this matchup. Like, if you don't apply pressure, even if you're applying good deny, even if you're doing good denial, I will just draw past it. Like, I
think that
I
was a
don't
mistake.
like Storm. Like, one of the things with Storm genuinely is that this deck needs fewer resources than people think it does to go off. Like, you just don't need a lot of resources to end the game with it.
Yeah.
They were often very awkward positions, though, Rob. Like, I know some of those EIs you're talking about because they kept happening.
Yeah.
And then, like, you would get max punished and not see an untapped land, or
yes.
And I think we were appreciating a lot of those. I mean, sometimes it felt like you were being a bit too, but you were trying to balance card draw versus pressure.
Yeah.
Also felt like I was always shitting on Spell Dancer doubling a brainstorm. Because especially when you didn't have a fetch, there was 2 different times, but like that just doesn't feel like that impressive, versus like doubling an EI.
I deliberately Talia, go ahead.
I think Spell Dancer doubling a brainstorm is good. It like access. Yeah, I just think Spell Dancer doubling a brainstorm is probably good.
It's fine. He also could have done it the other order too. Sorry, and then had like double the EI. Sorry.
Yeah, double DI is usually better, but like,
yeah, I mean, of course it's better. I mean, I'm trying to remember if that was deliberate or just an oversight type of thing. I think the logic. I mean, there's no way I didn't see that because my goal is to do a double EI like every time. So if I don't actually remember that specific decision, but I wonder why.
Yeah, I don't mean, maybe I'm saying it differently than, it's more like you would have had to play the whole turns different, not that you just had access to red and blue and then just Storm. But if you had just, like played out a threat and then done it the next turn or something, but it seems like a hard dance to do.
It is a spell dance.
It's a spell dance.
I deliberately chose a deck that had Spelldancer in it because I thought it was interesting. I think it's I think it is the most recent addition to the deck. Like, not everyone's playing it. Everyone's just sort of experimenting with it right now. But it seemed a little bit spicy, so I was sort of like, let me give it a try. I like that it's unblockable, weirdly. Like, I know it seems like just like unnecessary text, but just complete 2/1 unblockability isn't that bad. Like, it just keeps ticking, and you don't have to set it up like DRC or Delver, right? Like, it is always 2/1, which I like. But yeah, it didn't do. I don't know. Drawing 2 cards off of it does feel great. I know Double Brainstorm is just two cards, but I actually had a lot of Brainstorm locks that happened in this league, which was no fun.
What's I think the really interesting part about that card is if now that you can't double an iteration, will it continue to see play? Because it seemed like it was good enough because that card's in your deck, but like, and certainly if you were playing a matchup where double bowl would be good or something, but I could see it being just bad enough now. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's just because EI is so broken and it's like an EI with a 2/1 attached.
Yeah, I mean, I read the banned and restricted article, and or maybe it was just the Reddit thread around it. I don't remember, but like, getting actual card advantage in this deck is sort of an oddity. Like, it's much more like a photocopy or whatever they call it, Xerox deck. So, I don't know. I did find the games fun. Like, it was. I found it very stressful to be on such low life totals against a deck that can just sort of do something and I'm dead. Like, but I guess I got a little lucky, especially game 3 with all those lands.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys both for playing. I think this is as good an opportunity as any to wrap up the recording. But thanks everybody for watching, and have a good one.